One of the many things that I find backwards the way I learn and read about the textile industry is that with some countries and some regions like the EU being a little bit more stringent about what can and cannot be in clothes, what the producers will do is that when they order a set of clothing from a factory, for instance, in China or in India, they tell them what chemicals may not be present, such as, heavy metals in the dyes, arsenic, cadmium, that kind of thing, or PFASs or other things. But as a chemist, this is so backwards because there are so many things you can put in clothing or in stuff in general that isn't like a list of, I don't know, 20, 30, even 50 chemicals that are prohibited. Because why aren't we going after, figuring out which things are safe and then saying you can only use this set of safe additives rather than this set of unsafe additives? And the other problem with that is a lot of the time in India and China, the factories will be sent pre-mixed batches of dye, for instance, to get the right shade that the customer is asking for. But the factories don't necessarily get to know what is in that pre-mixed dye. That can be considered an industrial secret and something the chemical company wants to keep to themselves. And what happens is that if the factory gets served, even after giving their chemical producer a list of things that can't be in the dye, if that stuff is in the dye, after all, and the batch gets tested before it gets exported, or like it gets tested at import, then the factory is stuck with footing the whole of that bill. And that is another reason why I think Know Your Clothes can be an important movement for consumers and producers both, because if the chemical producer had to list what chemicals were in their mixes, it would be easier for the factory to go back and say, hey, this mixture that you sent me did not contain what you said it did. It contained these other things too, and now you have to also take it, part of the cost. Ideally, the person ordering too, but yeah, we want more people to be protected, and traceability and transparency can help us with that.